All right, so this is the third of my exposures. I've really changed it and worked with it with Distort to line up the horizontals on both sides of the block as well as the brick wall. Here it is, that's about as close as I can get. Hit return, get rid of my guides, and I can see the difference from the beginning. Huge difference, right? But that architecture is all there. But I have to decide, do I like this better or do I like this better? And I think this has a certain kind of power to it. And it's not lying, that's what it kind of looks like. I guess it gets a little weird here, so I'm going to pull just that side out a little bit. Like so. Or I can even use warp very, very subtly in that corner to keep it from feeling like it's curving down. Just tug up just a little bit on it. So there's so much control we have of the space. But remember, you're always working outside. You are rolling your dough. And now all those bricks, they're all going to one vanishing point way up here along with these edges. Okay. Let's see if I lost my horizontal. Yeah, close enough. All right, now I'm going to save that as Carl Arc 3 as a Photoshop file to the desktop. Decide what kind of processing I want. Auto tone was pretty severe there, so it shows me I have a lot of darkening I can do if I want. A lot of color I can do. I kind of like how severe it is right now. Color balance. This was shot outside. It's diffused, so maybe give it a little bit more of the red. Like putting a little bit of blue there. The highlights put a little bit more yellow. The shadows a little bit more cyan. All right. Yeah. Save that. Okay. Now I have to wonder, well, is there a type of processing that will make them all look good? So I'm going to do one quick thing. I'm going to do Edit Puppet Warp. This is pretty extreme, but I'm just going to take this little curve here and bend it out. That's all. Very subtle. See, that's what it did. Puppet warp is usually for other instances, but just because the bricks were sagging there a little bit, I just bent them back just a tiny bit. All right, so now that doesn't bug me anymore. So what do? I go up to Actions, and I can say full run up, or if I know kind of the action I like Polaroid, I can just run that action on it. And it will open it up in a new folder. Then I can flatten that. I like how it brings blues to my shadows. Copy it, gives some yellows to my highlights, and then I'm going to paste it on top. And then I'm going to blend it in with opacity. So maybe I like it at about 50%. I like the stain there. All right, so now I save it, and then I'm going to save it as Carl Arc 3 JPEG. And then I can run that Polaroid filter on the others and see if it does something that I like. Remember, processing is not supposed to be a huge chore for these. But if you're going to run an action, make sure you only have one file open in Photoshop. So I've got that. Now I'm going to run that Polaroid action. Oops. Opens it up in a new file. There we go. Yeah, I like kind of the bluish, purplish tint there. Gonna flatten it. Select it all, copy it, paste it over, blend it in about 50%. Then don't want this, want this. Save it as my Photoshop file, and then also save it as, there are 3 separate photos, my JPEG to upload. And then I'll be all done. Then last one. This one's easy, black and white. I'm still gonna run the Polaroid on it. I think it might be interesting, just to see what happens. So, it just deepens the contrast a little bit, puts some color back into it. Flatten that. Copy it. Paste it on top. Blend it in. Yeah, nice. All right. Save as that, yes. And then save as JPEG. All right, and now I've got my submissions. So I'm gonna submit 6 photos, 6 JPEGs. These, the unprocessed shots, and the processed shots. And I will name them in the following way. You'll add yours to the assignment folder. I will add mine to the instructor documents, or the instructor demos. So once you bring them in, you're going to label them with your name, and then 1A for the unprocessed, 1B for the processed version of that one, 2A for your second unprocessed, 2B for your processed version of that one. You'll use your name. I'm going to use a semester code since I have multiples with my name. And then they'll line up in a beautiful mini portfolio of 3 shots. Before and after. Why did this one not upload? Let's see. Oh, there's a TIFF in there, that's why. How'd that TIFF get there? That's just my raw exposure. I just need to make sure it's saved as a JPEG. You were saying, Shane? What was that?
5 of mine chose not to upload.
Are they TIFFs?
No, they are JPEG.
Huh. I'll come look at that. That's why it's not due till next class. So let me upload that one. The way of file formats is sometimes a mystery. Okay, so now I need to title them. This one is actually Carl 1B, or I'm going to do FA15 1B. This one is FA15 2A. So it's unprocessed. This is FA15 1A. FA15 3A. I like how that one turned up. FA15 3B. So basically we're using our actions kind of like an Instagram filter, but then pasting it on top of our original to decide how much we want that effect. And FA15 2B. And the reason we use that naming convention is then when we view the files by title, they will line up just like so. So that when we go through them, we will see unprocessed, processed. Unprocessed, processed. Big change there. Unprocessed, processed. And then we're done.